Picture this. You're standing in line for coffee, half awake, when a small miracle happens. You hand a stranger a colorful piece of paper, or maybe you just tap a piece of glass, and moments later, a hot drink appears in your hands. No hunting, no bargaining, no awkward promises of future favors, just coffee. That little exchange feels so normal that we barely notice how strange it actually is. Because what you really traded wasn't paper, metal, or numbers on a screen. You traded belief. Money is one of the most powerful ideas humans have ever invented. It has started wars, ended empires, built cities, and quietly shaped the daily lives of billions of people who rarely stop to ask a dangerous question. What is money, really? Long before money existed, human life ran on something far messier: trust and memory. In small tribes, everyone knew who owed what to whom. If you shared meat today, you might expect help repairing your hut tomorrow. These arrangements weren't written down, but they were deeply felt. Forgetting your obligations wasn't just rude. It could get you expelled or killed. Survival depended on reputation. But as communities grew larger, memory failed. You could no longer personally know everyone you traded with. Trust became fragile. Imagine trying to barter in a growing village. You have grain. You want shoes. The shoemaker doesn't need grain, he needs firewood. Now you're stuck, walking door to door, hoping to find someone who wants what you have and has what you need. Economists call this the double coincidence of wants. Humans call it exhausting. So people began using stand-ins objects everyone agreed were valuable: shells, beads, cattle. In ancient Mesopotamia, silver wasn't just jewelry. It was a measuring stick for debt. Often, no silver ever changed hands. Transactions were recorded on clay tablets, with cuneiform scratches marking who owed whom and how much. Money, at its birth, wasn't coins. It was accounting. Coins came later, and they changed everything. Around 600 BCE, in the kingdom of Lydia, modern-day Turkey, someone had a brilliant idea: stamp pieces of precious metal with a symbol that guaranteed their weight and purity. Suddenly, trust could be outsourced. You didn't need to know the seller. You just needed to trust the stamp. That tiny symbol was a promise backed by authority, and it spread like wildfire. Empires loved coins. They were portable propaganda. Roman emperors stamped their faces onto silver denarii, sending their image to the farthest corners of the known world. Every purchase became a reminder of who was in charge. Money didn't just enable trade. It reinforced power. But here's the twist. Even then, money wasn't really about metal. When Rome's finances crumbled, emperors quietly reduced the silver content in their coins, replacing it with cheaper metals. The coins looked the same. People used them anyway until inflation hit and trust collapsed. The value had never been in the silver. It was in the shared belief that the coin was worth something. That belief has always been fragile. In medieval Europe, coins were scarce. Kings and queens hoarded precious metals, and every day people improvised. Money became whatever the community accepted. Tally sticks, for example. A stick of wood would be notched to record a debt, then split in half. The creditor kept one half, the debtor the other. The two pieces only matched each other. It was an anti-fraud system made of wood, and it worked for centuries. Then paper money arrived, and people panicked. In China, during the Tang and Song dynasties, merchants got tired of hauling heavy coins across vast distances. Paper receipts began circulating instead. At first, they were promises. This note can be redeemed for metal. Eventually, the promise was enough on its own. The paper became the money. Marco Polo was stunned when he saw it, writing with disbelief about a society that treated paper like gold. Europe took much longer to accept the idea. Paper money felt like a trick. After all, you couldn't eat it. You couldn't melt it down. It relied entirely on trust. Trust that the issuer wouldn't print too much. Trust that others would accept it tomorrow. And when that trust broke, the consequences were devastating. Take France in the early 1700s. A charismatic Scotsman named John Law convinced the government it could solve its debt crisis by printing paper money backed by future profits from colonies. At first it worked beautifully. The economy boomed. People felt rich. Then reality intruded. The profits never came. Confidence evaporated. The currency collapsed, fortunes vanished overnight, and paper money became synonymous with disaster. Yet humanity didn't abandon it. Because despite its dangers, money, this strange, abstract thing, was too useful. Over time, money transformed again. The gold standard tethered currencies to precious metal, promising stability, but even that was an illusion. During wars and crises, governments quietly abandoned gold, printing what they needed to survive. After World War II, the world rebuilt its financial system around the U.S. dollar, which itself was once redeemable for gold until it wasn't. In 1971, that final link was cut. For the first time, global money floated freely, backed by nothing more than faith. And here's where things get really weird. Most money today doesn't physically exist. When you imagine money, you probably picture cash. But cash is only a tiny fraction of the total. The vast majority lives as numbers and databases. When you deposit money in a bank, it doesn't sit there waiting for you. The bank lends it out. Through a process called fractional reserve banking, new money is effectively created from debt. Every loan is new money born into existence, and every repayment destroys it. Money today is a story we tell with spreadsheets. This means money isn't a thing, it's a relationship, a promise, an agreement about the future. And like all promises, it depends on trust. That trust has emotional weight. Think about how money makes people feel. Security, anxiety, pride, shame, hope, despair. Studies show that losing money activates the same parts of the brain as physical pain. Entire identities are built around income and wealth. Money decides where you live, how long you study, how healthy you are, and often how long you live. Yet money itself doesn't care. It has no morality. $1 earned by saving a life is identical to $1 earned by destroying one. Money amplifies human intent. It rewards what society values or thinks it values. Sometimes that's innovation and hard work. Sometimes it's exploitation and luck. Often it's both. Every so often, cracks appear, and people remember that money is a collective hallucination. During hyperinflation, banknotes become kindling. In prisons, cigarettes turn into currency. In digital spaces, cryptocurrencies emerge attempts to create money without kings, banks, or borders. Each new system asks the same ancient question in a modern accent. Who do we trust? And here's the final, unsettling thought. If money is belief, then it can change. It always has. From shells to silver, paper to pixels, money evolves with us. The real constant isn't gold or code, it's human agreement. So the next time you pay for something without thinking, remember what just happened. You participated in a story older than writing, stronger than steel, and more fragile than it looks. A story that only works because we all agree to keep telling it. Money isn't wealth, it isn't value. It isn't even real in the way a rock or a tree is real. Money is trust written down, and as long as we believe in it, it rules the world. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the ideas that shape our world. See you next time.